Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now, live at 4 on this Wednesday.
Happy May.
Happy May.
We've turned a page on the calendar.
Hard to believe.
I know, you and I were saying earlier today, where did April go?
Yeah, I think it's because the weather was so,
Yeah,
it was so
exactly.
cool and cloudy, but here we go. So we have a busy show today. Let's get to it. Here's what's making news on this Wednesday. Thousands make their way to the Capitol as part of a nationwide strike. Rose Schmidt explains their mission. 2
teenagers are arrested after bringing a gun to an area high school. Our Kelly Arthur shows us how school districts work together to find the suspects.
And the Attorney General is on the hot seat on Capitol Hill answering questions about how he handled the Mueller report.
Let's take a look outside at midweek. Another cloudy day, a little bit warmer than yesterday, but still on the cool side.
At least the rain ended around noon or so. The question today, where are the Mayflowers? Dana Fulton in the backyard. There's some behind you.
There are just
kind
a
of droopy.
few. They're just a little sad looking. There's not as many as I would like to see, that's all. And I'm sure they would appreciate a little bit of sunshine, though. The slow, steady showers that we picked up in the last 24 hours, actually not too bad of a thing for the flowers. And the grass, nice and green and vibrant for us right now. Everything's feeling a little alive. We would just like for it to be not as cool outside. It is cloudy in Platteville currently. Here's a look from our Queen Bee Radio sky cam. Our Doppler track is quiet, though. Even though it's cloudy and a little cool, at least it's not rainy outside. We're not really looking at any more rain coming through for us, most of it in the morning. It's all wrapped up as we head into this evening. 49 right now in Madison, about 55 in Rockford. Compared to this time yesterday, it is just a degree or two warmer, about a 5-degree jump for us in Madison, 9-degree jump for Monroe and Janesville, so a little better outside. Overall, a calm breeze expected through the evening. Tonight, we're looking at a light northeasterly breeze. That's not too bad either. Temperatures over the next several hours will fall, of course. Overnight lows will land close to 40, so we're not going to drop too much. That's where we should start the day, though. That's an average overnight low heading into our Thursday, the second day of May already. Now, tomorrow we are expecting the chance for some showers, but the sun will return here pretty soon. We just got one more day to get through. We'll talk about what's ahead for your Friday, Saturday, this weekend forecast in just a few minutes. Right now, I do want to take a look on the roads with the first alert traffic update. This is the Beltline at Park Street. You can see both east and westbound. Seems to be moving along just fine. Eastbound, though, a few more folks on the road in that direction, so we usually tend to see the slowdown on the eastbound side first. But we aren't seeing any major delays at this time eastbound. Just gets a little slower the closer you get to John Nolan. Downtown on the Isthmus should be fairly smooth. Mount Horeb to Verona all looks just fine, and around the Janesville area we don't have any hiccups to report. Also no major congestion spots and certainly no accidents. That's always good news. 28 minutes from Janesville to the Beltline, 18 minutes from Sauk City to Middleton, and a quick 16-minute drive southbound from Sun Prairie to downtown. So you don't need the shades today. Just, of course, plan on your average commute. We'll keep a close eye on things, though, and see if things start to slow down as more folks hop on the roads.
Fingers crossed that they don't.
Yes, that would be ideal.
We'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. First at 4, there are calls from the state capitol to allow driver's licenses for all.
Thousands of immigrant workers and supporters descended upon the Capitol today. Our Rose Schmidt joins us live to explain their strike. Rose.
Yes, well, this building is where state leaders make decisions that immigrant families say affect their ability to drive to work or school. And that's why 4,000 of them came right here today as part of a community-wide strike. Thousands of people chose not to show up to work or school today on the day without Latinx. And more than 150 businesses in the state closed down in a show of solidarity. They're urging state lawmakers to pass Governor Evers' plan to make driver's licenses available to people living in the country illegally. Up until 2007, anyone in Wisconsin could obtain a license regardless of immigration status. The plan will likely be blocked by Republican leaders who have argued that allowing driver's licenses for all would encourage people who are in the country illegally to stay here. But organizers dispute that and vow to keep pushing on.
It's to, again, show that collective economic contribution, that immigrants are not just workers, they're also small business owners, and they pay taxes, they create jobs.
The crowd had not just groups like Voces de la Frontera, but also prominent Madison city leaders, including Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway and Police Chief Mike Koval. Now, Majority Leader Jim Steineke tweeted today that illegal immigrants are breaking the law and thereby should not be extended privileges. I also reached out to Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald, as well as Assembly Speaker Robin Vos, but they were unavailable for comment today. Back to you.
All right, Rose Schmidt reporting live from the state capitol. Thank you.
The Milton school superintendent and a board member say they are stepping down at the end of the school year. District officials say Tim Shiger and Jerry Schutz say they made the decision to resign and were not removed from their positions. This comes after a third-party investigator was hired to look into multiple allegations of misconduct, including how stipends were paid to district employees without board approval. Two school resource officers from Madison and Middleton worked together to track down students believed to be in possession of handguns.
Our Keely Arthur shares how they were able to make those quick arrests, and she joins us now. Keely?
Well, this is one of those situations that could have been a lot worse. The guns turned out to be BB guns, but the charges no less serious. On Monday, two teens in a vehicle allegedly pointed a gun at a Middleton student. A police officer stationed at Middleton High School sent an email alert to other officers with a description of the car, a white Buick without a front license plate. A fellow school resource officer at Memorial thought the description sounded familiar. He took a screen grab of the car he was thinking of off surveillance footage, and sure enough, it was a match. Shortly thereafter, the suspects were located, as were 3 BB guns in the car parked at a nearby Jefferson Middle School. The students were arrested for possession of weapons on a school premises.
A police officer only has a moment to really make that decision as to whether the weapon they're looking at is real or fake. And again, if someone in that car had pointed a gun at a police officer, it could have had fatal consequences.
The Middleton School District gave a lot of credit to the officers involved, writing in a statement, quote, "We owe the results of this investigation to the brave student who reported the concern and to the true collaboration across multiple police departments and school communities." Madison Memorial's principal told parents in a statement, "Anytime any kind of weapon is found on school grounds, we take it very seriously. I also want to underscore that there is and was no threat to Memorial or Jefferson students or staff." And it's unclear right now if those students will get additional charges received from the Middleton Police Department, in addition to the charges from Madison.
This could have turned out so much worse.
And they acted really quick. They said within an hour they found those students.
That's good. All right, Keely, thank you.
Thank you, Keely. We're learning new details today about yesterday's deadly shooting on the University of North Carolina Charlotte campus. A 22-year-old former student is charged with killing 2 people and injuring 4 others on the last day of classes. He is identified as Tristan Terrell. He burst into an anthropology classroom and opened fire.
We can't really discern the why just yet. It really appears that there was no specific person, but and the randomness is what's most concerning.
UNC says Terrell had been enrolled there but withdrew during the current semester. He passed a mental background check and was issued a permit to buy a gun last October.
Attorney General William Barr testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee today about the release of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia report. Some senators and 2020 contenders are calling on him to resign for allegedly misleading the public. Nicole Killian has the latest from the White House.
That trust America deserves better. You should resign.
Senate Democrats blasted Attorney General William Barr over his 4-page summary of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia report.
I made clear from the beginning that I was putting out the report, as much of the report as I could.
The special counsel found no evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians in the 2016 presidential election, but did not make a ruling on whether President Trump obstructed justice, something Barr did.
You, in effect, exonerated or cleared the president. No, I didn't exonerate. I said that we did not believe that there was sufficient evidence to establish an obstruction offense.
Ahead of the hearing, House Democrats published a private letter Mueller sent to the Attorney General back in March, expressing concern that Barr's memo created, quote, public confusion about the investigation.
Bob told me that he did not have objections to the accuracy.
Attorneys don't put things in writing unless they're pretty serious about them.
In previous testimony last month, Barr denied knowing how Mueller felt about his summary.
The question was relating to unidentified members who were expressing frustration over the accuracy relating to findings. I don't know what that refers to at all. I talked directly to Bob Mueller, not members of his team.
I feel your answer was purposely misleading.
and I think others do too.
Barr is scheduled to testify before the House Judiciary Committee Thursday, but his appearance may be in jeopardy due to concerns about the format. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And Barr also testified he did not feel the president obstructed justice when he instructed his then White House counsel, Don McGahn, to have Mueller fired. Democrats are asking to hear from McGahn as well as Mueller himself.
The White House says President Trump is closely monitoring the situation in Venezuela as the embattled president and the opposition leader both call on supporters to take to the streets for a second day. Opposition leader Juan Guaido rallied supporters at a May Day protest in Caracas. He called again for a military uprising, but only a small group of soldiers broke ranks. America and 50 other nations recognize Guaido as Venezuela's leader. The U.S. says President Nicolas Maduro's regime is being propped up by Russia and Cuba.
We literally had Nicolas Maduro getting prepared to get on this airplane and head out of the country before he was stopped really at the direction of the Russians.
Maduro denied those claims on a nationally televised address and promised to punish the protesters squaring off against government forces. The White House has called a meeting with military leaders, national security officials, and the Secretary of State to discuss the next steps.
May Day protests are being held around the world today. In some cities like Paris, they've turned violent. Police fired tear gas to keep anti-government protesters back as demonstrators packed the streets for a May Day rally. Workers in major cities across Europe, Asia, and parts of the U.S. took part in traditional labor union marches, demanding more rights, higher pay, and better working conditions.
Parts of downtown Davenport, Iowa are underwater this afternoon after a temporary flood protection system was breached. The fire department warned residents and businesses about an hour before the breach happened. About 30 people had to leave. The breach was blamed on the height of the Mississippi River. The height exceeded any other level that the temporary flood protection has faced in the past. The Mississippi is cresting at 22.2 feet, just inches below the record of 22.6 feet set in 1993. And it's May 1st, but the parts of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan are under a winter weather advisory today. 3 to 4 inches of snow fell this morning across several communities in the UP. The snow broke a previous record for snow on this date, set in 2005.
But it's the UP.
That's true. You kind of expect it's not that unusual.
No, it's not. Well, there's more to come at 4. The age-old question is finally answered. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
It turns out it's 63rd Street in New York City. We'll take you to the street renaming ceremony when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Welcome back. One of New York City's busiest streets got a new name today, even though it's probably only temporary.
Mayor Bill de Blasio renamed 63rd Street at the corner of Broadway Sesame Street, aided by Big Bird and other cast and crew members of the Sesame Street show. It's all in honor of Sesame Street's 50th anniversary.
E may be for Ernie, B for Bert, and G for Grover. But today is about the letter S. S is for smiles. I bet even Oscar the Grouch is smiling now.
Elmo, Big Bird, and the Muppets are leaving.
There you go.
Elmo, Big Bird, and the Muppets are leaving Sesame Street for a 10-city road trip this summer to mark the 50th anniversary. Sesame Street's 50th season premieres in November with a star-studded primetime special.
A lot of streets in New York have special names.
Yeah.
So it's not unusual. Congratulations to them. Stocks fell today after the Federal Reserve decided to leave interest rates where they are. The Dow Industrials fell 162 points, closing at 26,430. The NASDAQ Composite Index was off 45, and the S&P 500 gave up 22. Well, Madison's annual Purple Stride Run and Walk supports everyone affected by pancreatic cancer.
Pancreatic cancer is the third leading cause of cancer deaths, with a 5-year survival rate of just 9%. But the goal of Purple Stride is to rewrite the future of this disease. Sarah Westcott is the event chair of Purple Stride this year. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
And she brought some mascots along with her. We have Mr. Brat from Bratfest. We have Pork Chop Jones from Jones Dairy Farm, and the Crusader from Edgewood High School. Thank you for being here.
And why are they here?
Yeah, Sarah, tell us about the mascot run.
Well, other than have them just be cool standing back here, they will be part of our mascot race, which will be in between the opening ceremony and the start of our walk on Saturday.
So how many mascots do you have racing?
Roughly 7.
So it's just for fun. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
No wagering.
How could it not be fun?
Please, no wagering.
Right. But you are trying to raise money for a very important cause.
Yes, we are. So our goal this year is $140,000. We're almost there, but not quite. So if anybody really wants to still donate, they can.
Mm-hmm. The 5-year survival rate is only 9%. It's a killer, this disease.
It's awful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So our goal is to raise, to double survival rates by 2020. When my mom was diagnosed in 2013, it was at 6%. So we've made some progress, but we are certainly nowhere that we want to be yet.
The event seems to be growing every year. Having a personal connection to this, how does it feel to see the sea of purple that shows up on a Saturday to support this cause?
You know, it's really overwhelming. It's just a really nice way for people to connect and for people to come together. We have an opportunity to meet other people in the same situation that you would never have been able to meet before. It is just, it's astounding.
And it seems the awareness of this disease is growing.
Hopefully.
Alex Trebek, the
Yes.
Jeopardy host, I mean, that makes a lot of people aware of this.
Yes, yes, and that's what we need. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of people to be advocates because they don't live very long. So the average rate is between 3 and 6 months once you are diagnosed. So in lieu of advocates, family members oftentimes step forward to try to spread awareness because it's desperately needed.
And the problem with the diseases are no real symptoms.
No, well, by the time that you have
first,
the symptoms,
yeah.
it's mostly too late. So when my mom got sick, she was extremely jaundiced. She had back pain. She had some belly pain. You know, and people push that off because they think, well, I just need to go to the chiropractor. I'm just not feeling well. If you feel like something is wrong, make sure that you go into your doctor. If you have itchy skin, unintentional weight loss, loss of appetite, those are all signs. And the quicker you can get in, hopefully the faster it can be detected.
Is that what inspired you to get involved? Is your mom still with us?
She's not. So she died in 2015.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She made it almost 2 years though, which is a lot longer than a lot of other people. But my goal in volunteering was to hopefully make it so no other family had to go through what we went through because it was awful. And she was the cornerstone of our family and she's gone. And I just don't want another family to have to go through that.
So this weekend is for raising awareness and raising money.
Absolutely.
And fight this disease.
Yeah.
Let's get it under control once and for all.
Absolutely.
All right, we have a shot of the mascots that are going to be there, I understand.
Where are the mascots? There.
Oh, no,
here we go.
Look at them all.
That is actually a very fun idea.
Yeah,
I love this idea. How far do the mascots have to run?
far as they want, but not very far.
You guys working out behind me? You're all ready, all set? All right.
Get a brat and we're all set to go.
Yeah.
Purple Stride in Madison is this Saturday, May 4th at Warner Park. Opening ceremony start at 9 a.m. with the run walk beginning at 9:30. When is the mascot run? Right before that? Mm-hmm. So right before that. To support the cause or for more information, go to pancam.org.
Sarah, great to see you. Have a wonderful event.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
They don't speak. There's more to come at 4. We all know you don't drink and drive.
And the same should be said about driving and marijuana. With more states
legalizing marijuana, more people are driving high. I'm Chris Martinez with a new effort to warn drivers.
Take a look at this. A high school senior in Texas ran a 100-meter dash in 9.98 seconds, a time that would have earned him a spot on the 2016 Olympic team. Runner Matthew Bowling, nicknamed White Lightning, smashed the U.S. high school all-conditions event over the weekend. The White Lightning's 9.98-second sprint is the fastest time ever ran by an American under the age of 20. But it doesn't count as a national record because of a 4.2-mile-per-hour wind on the track at the time.
What?
That's a rule?
The official record is 10 seconds exactly, set in 2014 at an indoor track.
So there can't be any wind? Is that,
It has to be an indoor track, I guess, to count. I don't know. 4.2 miles. That doesn't seem enough.
No.
Maybe it was headwind and it slowed him down.
It might have slowed him down. It might have carried him up.
That's not right.
That's a great nickname, though. You'll never forget.
White Lightning.
White Lightning. Come fast. All right, the hit TV show The Big Bang Theory is going out with a bang.
One day after filming the series finale, ending the 12-season run of one of Hollywood's most popular comedies, the cast of CBS's The Big Bang Theory sunk their hands into cement today at the TCL Chinese Theater. The event comes on the heels of an emotional night when the show's hour-long finale was taped in Burbank. The Big Bang Theory has been TV's most watched comedy since the 2010-11 season. The show has won 10 Emmys, including 4 of them for lead actor Jim Parsons. The show's finale, episode number 279, is scheduled to air here on CBS on May 16th. May 16th.
Just 2 weeks away.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, the whole cab. We should do that.
Oh, that's what I was just thinking.
Out in the parking lot. We'll do it in the mud. We'll do it in the mud out there.
Just smush. There's plenty of mud if you haven't noticed.
Not quite Big Bang.
No, but our own little splash around right now. Everything's pretty saturated. Everyone's a little muddy. It's a little dirty. It's going to stay that way too. We're cloudy outside. We have the chance for some showers to creep back in for tomorrow. We'll take a close look at what's ahead for the next few days right after the break. Now, the rain stopped a few hours ago in Madison, but the cloud coverage just staying around for us as we look at our visible cloud track throughout the area, throughout the entire state. It's just an overcast sky for us today. Not seeing a lot of sun poking through at all. And we're really expecting that cloud coverage to stay through most of tomorrow also. We will hold off just a little longer before we really see the sun come through. The good news, though, flipping over to our Doppler track, it's pretty quiet throughout the state and even off to the immediate west. So no rain expected to build in for us this evening. And for most of the overnight and into tomorrow morning, actually, we're getting a little bit of a break, which is a good thing. Helps us dry up a little bit. The sun would be nice. The sun, of course, would help evaporate a little bit of this water. But overall, in the last 24 hours, we really haven't picked up too much. The southeast quarter of the state, all that green is just over a tenth of an inch or a couple tenths of an inch where you see that darker green color. To the north, just over a tenth of an inch for most of the area. You really have to go pretty far south to see significant rainfall in the last 24 hours. Down towards Belvedere, about a half of an inch of rain picked up in central Illinois. They've picked up closer to a half of an inch, 3/4 even for some areas. So most of that rain has been to the south. Tomorrow we are planning on a cloudy start to the day, and then the rain comes back in the late morning and early afternoon. So that shower chance, again, favored towards southern Wisconsin on south. Likely not going to see much around La Crosse. A slight chance towards Green Bay. And we do have that chance for showers coming through, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm throughout the late morning and early afternoon. But later in the evening on Friday, just a cloudy sky. We aren't going to have any shower chances building back in. In fact, our sky will steadily clear up. We will finally get a clearing sky for Friday. That brings us sunshine for Friday and for most of Saturday. Saturday, we're expecting a mostly sunny start. Later in the day, some clouds might start to build on in for us. And then our next chance for showers will start to develop and slide in for Sunday. Not a great threat for Sunday, but something we'll be keeping an eye on for Sunday afternoon. Overnight low temperatures will drop to the lower 40s yet again. So another seasonal start to the day. Our low temperatures consistently have been dropping to right where they need to be, but our afternoon highs just have been staying so far below average for the last few days. Tomorrow we are hoping to get just a little closer to the mid-50s for afternoon highs. Again, that shower chance is really going to be for the Del South and the southeast corner of the state, favored for that. We won't see much accumulation with that rain coming through, but there is the chance to pick up a few tenths of an inch for us. By Friday, we have sunshine. Temperatures, again, will be in the low 40s for Friday morning, but by Friday afternoon, we will be closer to 60 for our afternoon highs. So it will be just a little closer to average heading into Friday and Saturday, our first weekend of May. Now, May, of course, we start to think about thunderstorms and talking a little more about severe weather. It starts to ramp up as we get into the late spring and summer. So it's a good idea to have your weather radio on hand and programmed. Nice thing about these weather radios, they give you alerts directly from the National Weather Service, and those alerts are specifically for your county or the surrounding counties, whichever ones you want to hear. Now, you can get those at Fleet Farm or at Hy-Vee. In fact, Gary Canalti just left the building. He's going to be at the Hy-Vee in Fitchburg to program those weather radios for you from 5 until 7. Again, that's at Fitzroy Road, the Fitchburg Hy-Vee. He'll be out there to help you program those weather radios. He'll be doing live forecasts out there in a little bit, so you just head on out, go visit Gary, and he'll help get you hooked up for exactly where you need your weather alerts to come from, because it doesn't help if you're living in Grant County and alerts are coming through the weather radio for Dane County. It's nice to know exactly where you're at and what the alerts are coming from. Overnight low again in the low 40s for us, mostly cloudy sky. Tomorrow not as cool. We'll be in the mid-50s for afternoon highs with a cloudy sky and that chance for showers late morning and early afternoon. By Friday, we're close to 60, so it is just a little more seasonal. Then finally in the upper 60s, finally by Saturday and Sunday. A chance for rain will start to develop for us later in the day on Sunday, and temperatures heading into next week look to hover a little closer to average as well, but that is also going to come along with some more rain chances by the middle of next week. But thankfully, we will get a little chance to kind of dry up and get some sunshine also to help make things a little less soggy outside. Yeah. Like we talked about, it's just a little muddy everywhere currently.
It's the muddy season.
It's the muddy season, yes.
And
dog owners love the muddy season.
Dog owners love the muddy season.
My chocolate lab, who's not supposed to be a chocolate lab.
It's a yellow lab.
Yellow lab. But that's what happens when it's that and the grass stains also all over here right now because
it's spring.
Wet.
It is spring.
It is spring, yes.
It's not snow.
No, it's not snow. We're putting that behind us.
Take the mud.
Thank you, Dana.
The number of people driving high on marijuana is rising.
And now there is a new effort to warn drivers about the dangers. Chris Martinez reports.
Ron Edwards was riding his motorcycle 4 years ago when a driver ran a red light and killed him. Police say the driver of the car had marijuana in his system. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's most recent survey found between 2007 and 2013, there was a 48% increase in weekend nighttime drivers who tested positive for cannabis.
Where's the weed at?
I smoke.
and I just finished smoking my marijuana, which is probably why you smell it.
Since the survey, several states have legalized marijuana for medicinal or recreational use.
Certainly, we see the problem in states that allow for medical or recreational access, but even in states that are not allowing access.
Heidi King from the National Highway Transportation Administration, or NHTSA, says driving high increases the risk of a crash.
Their decision making is impaired and their reaction time is slowed. So we want to start a national conversation about the risks of marijuana or cannabis impaired driving.
NHTSA is now starting a national ad campaign, including this public service announcement.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high.
The simple message, if you feel different, you drive different.
If you're using, don't get behind the wheel. It's just too dangerous.
Authorities hope that will make people think twice before hitting the road high. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
It's a great spot.
Yeah, it's one you'll remember. I think that's the point.
Yeah, don't do it. Well, there's more to come at 4. It's the FDA's most prominent warning, the black box.
And 3 popular prescription sleep medications now carry that warning. We'll find out what they are and what carrying the black box label means when Live at 4 continues. There's a live picture of the UW campus. Boy, the lake is like a sheet of glass this afternoon.
Compared to Wade's Bend.
That's right.
Waves.
Very calm. Millions of Americans suffer from insomnia, and many of them depend on sleep medications to get through the night.
Federal health regulators have warned for years about the possible side effects. Now, they've issued their strongest warning so far. Meg Oliver reports.
A prescription of Ambien will now come with a prominent warning slapped on the box. The Food and Drug Administration is requiring labels and patient guides to alert consumers about possible side effects, which doctors have known about for years.
They wake up for some reason during sleep and they exhibit behaviors that one would exhibit during wakefulness, like walking, eating, potentially even driving.
Black box warnings are the FDA's most prominent warning. They will also apply to the popular sleep medications Lunesta and Sonata, alerting patients to the risk for potentially dangerous behaviors.
It may be that some people are genetically prone anyway for these kinds of disorders, and a medication can become an additional trigger.
Dr. Nancy Foldvary-Schaefer is with the Sleep Disorders Center of the Cleveland Clinic. She says the government's warning is an important reminder that medication should not be the only tool for addressing insomnia.
10 to 15% of adults in America have a chronic insomnia disorder, and very often they've been treated with these medications as a first-line therapy. Other treatments, not medicine, but behavioral therapies, work as well, if not better, long-term.
Those therapies include relaxation techniques and creating a better sleep environment. Because while side effects from sleeping pills are rare, doctors say they can lead to serious injury. Meg Oliver, CBS News.
And the FDA issued the new requirement after a safety review involving 66 cases.
Patients engaged in activities resulting in serious injuries or death, things like sleepwalking or driving while not fully awake.
Yeah, talk to your doctor. Well, still to come at 4, fans of apple cider have a new Mount Horeb destination.
We'll check out Brick's Cider House with our tastemaker, Andrea Bailing. That's when Live at 4 continues.
So right now we don't have any major accidents to report, but as we look at the Beltline, this is a look at the Beltline at Park Street, both east and westbound, at least going. Eastbound side going just a little slower for us right now. A few stop and go spots for us again along the east and westbound side. A few areas where the shoulder is blocked, but the lanes are still moving right now. Slowdowns on Regent Street near University Avenue, and also, of course, Verona Road, seeing some major delays right now, that intersection from Verona to McKee Road. Mount Horeb looks fine, but Verona, we do have a few slowdown spots. And then around Janesville, a few slowdown spots as well, but 39 and 90 seems to be pretty smooth. 27 minutes from Janesville to the Beltline, 17 minutes from Sauk City to Middleton, and just about 20 minutes from Sun Prairie to downtown. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, thank you, Dana. The prom season is prom season. Everybody is getting in on the glitz and glamour. MD Anderson Hospital in Texas hosted a very special celebration for teen cancer patients. The kids made preparations at a shoe and dress sale sponsored and piped by Sarah Jessica Parker. The actress also hosted an evening raising more than $300,000 for prostate cancer research. Patients and former patients, now in remission, got a much-earned night of fun.
Oh, that is beautiful.
What a great idea.
What a great idea.
It really is. Well, if you're a fan of hard cider, make a trip to Mount Horeb to sample some of the best.
A new cider pub opened there earlier this year. Madison Magazine's Andrea Bailing checked out Brick Cider for this month's Tastemaker segment.
We source our apples from a bunch of different Wisconsin orchards, so they're all local ciders. Locally grown ciders. This very first one here is from Appleberry Farm over in Cross Plains, and this one is just apples. And it's a crisp, light, easy drinking cider.
Mostly heirloom apples on that one.
Yep. And we tend to go dry with most of our ciders. That's just the way we like it, and we're finding a lot of customers like it that way too.
And this is a raspberry flavor?
Yeah, so that one we steep whole raspberries in. It has that nice rosé color.
It's pretty.
And but it's also dry, kind of like a rosé wine.
This says wild here.
So that one, we foraged wild apples.
Oh.
So that's apples that came up from seed that you'll find on fence rows or in pastures or...
A lot in the driftless region. If you drive through the driftless region in the spring, you'll see all these beautiful trees in flower, and a lot of them are either wild plums or mostly wild apples.
Oh, cool.
We've got a couple really nice orchards that we've kind of found and made friends with the farmers, and they love having us out there, and I think they get a kick out of it.
And it's funny how different the colors are from cider to cider.
Yeah, the apples can make a difference for sure.
Are the different batches totally different from batch to batch with the wild?
Yeah, with the wild, and actually we have yet to recreate a batch of cider, so every time we do something it's different.
Oh,
that's fun. I think is really fun, and I'm hoping it keeps us interested and kind of keeps us experimenting with things. So, you know, you could come in month to month and those ciders on the board are going to change.
Get something new every time.
Yeah, sure.
And then this last one here,
the Wisconsin Old Fashioned. So that one is our play on a classic Wisconsin Old Fashioned. So we
brandy Old Fashioned.
Of course, a brandy Old Fashioned. We're in Wisconsin, right. So that one we aged in brandy barrels from Driftless Glen Distillery up in Baraboo, a newer distillery up there. And then we steeped in Door County cherries, some orange peel, and splashed in bitters.
That is delicious, and you definitely get that brandy old-fashioned taste.
Yeah, so that was kind of a fun, I don't know, experiment. But people seem to like it, so it was fun to make, too.
Yeah. All right, now we have a bunch of awesome-looking plates on the table here. Can you kind of go around the table and tell me what we have here?
So what you've got is a hot link.
A maple hot link.
A maple hot link. I'm sorry, you're right. It's a maple hot link.
And you guys make your own sausages here,
We make our own sausages. And then we've got our house-made ricotta plate. So this is another great Bergère invention. One day he's like, I'm going to make ricotta. So we did. And so now we do this
So you make your own ricotta,
He makes
too?
the ricotta,
wow.
And then he makes this great carrot jam, which are two words I had not put together.
Yeah.
Carrot jam.
Carrot jam, and it's great. You throw the scallions on top. We toast up a little, bread from what wasn't used the day before, and it's a great little appetizer.
Wow.
We've got small kids, so we've got a kids menu. Apple slices, grilled cheese. We do an all-beef hot dog. Stuff that your kid's gonna eat.
Kid-friendly tap room here.
Kid-friendly, yeah. We got squash and black bean soup here. So a great bowl of soup. Vegan options on the menu also. I want to make sure I point out Hallie Wepking's beautiful carrot cake.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys so much for having us in. And welcome to the Mount Horeb community here.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And Andrea's here. Now, this is becoming a thing, these cider, hard cider places.
Yeah, yep. They might be the first bona fide cider pub that has a really robust food menu too. They came right out of the gate with amazing food, amazing cider, great atmosphere, and everything about this new tap room is the fruits of their labor. No pun intended.
They grow a lot of their apples locally, is that right? At a farm in Barneveld? Is that what I read?
Yep, they have a farm in near Barneveld that they've been running since 2014, and they have over 100 apple varieties that they just test out, and they're really scientists in that regard. But they then source from 18 local farms for the apples they use for their ciders.
Every batch is different.
Yeah, yep, and I thought that was crazy. The wild ones that they forage, the wild apples, yeah, every single batch is going to be a little nuanced and different than the one before.
And hard cider, of course, has alcohol in it. Yeah.
Yep. But this is definitely like a family-friendly place too. They've got like a little kid area, and so you can bring the whole family. It's a great place.
Sort of like wine, the alcohol content of wine.
Yes, and not like the kind of like sugary, sour ciders that you think of. It's more of a dry wine, like they said.
And to get a flight like that and try all the different varieties is a great idea.
Yes, and they're so different from each other. It's cool to taste them.
Check it out. And check out Madison Magazine for more on this. And there it is, the color issue. Andy, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
Well, the final check of your forecast coming up. Well, at least it's not raining.
At least it's not raining outside. It's cloudy outside, it's a little dreary, but it's not raining for us. And thankfully, we're not really looking at any more rain coming through for the rest of the evening. Right now, our Doppler track is quiet. Here's a look at the last 24 hours, though. We have picked up just around 1/10 of an inch for the southeast corner of Dane County in the last 24 hours. Of course, our 24-hour rain totals just a little higher than that. Our visible cloud track is not going to change for much overnight, staying cloudy throughout the state. We will get some sunshine, though, by Friday. So that's what we're waiting on now. Friday and Saturday should be good.
Another reason to look forward to Friday.
Yes.
All right, Dana, thank you.
Thanks, Dana.
We'll be right back.